Hi everyone. This is a presentation on Sigmund Freud by Cyrus Garner. First, I will go over his early life. Then I will discuss his big ideas and lastly touch on applying his theories in the classroom. Sigmund Freud was born in Freiburg, Moravia, which is located in present-day Czech Republic, to a middle-class Jewish family in 1865. He enrolled in medical school at the University of Vienna in 1873. He first concentrated with biology and did research in physiology for 6 years before specializing in neurology. After earning his medical degree in 1881, he was married in 1886. After his marriage, he set up a private practice for the treatment of psychological disorders, from which he gained the clinical material he would later base his theories on. Freud's most influential work, The Interpretation of Dreams, was published in 1900 and is generally regarded as his greatest work. The interpretation of dreams originated from an emotional crisis created by the death of his father. His analysis of his dreams during this period revealed to him mixed emotions of love and hatred toward his father. Initially, Freud attempted to divide the mind in terms of distinct levels of consciousness: the conscious mind, the subconscious or preconscious mind, and finally the unconscious mind. According to Freud, the mind is like an iceberg, with the conscious mind represented by the seeable part of the iceberg and the unconscious mind and preconscious mind represented by the hidden part. The conscious mind includes everything like thoughts, feelings, and actions of which people are currently aware of. For example, while playing a sport, your thoughts are focused on what you are doing presently, getting the ball and scoring. The preconscious mind includes all mental activities which are not presently active but stored somewhere in our memory and can be easily accessed when required. For example, if you were asked what homework you did last night, you would be pulling that information out of your preconscious mind. The unconscious mind includes mental activity that people are unaware of. According to Freud, some of the feelings, thoughts, urges, and emotions that our conscious mind wants to hide are buried into unconsciousness and influence some of our unexplained behavior. For example, Bob's family has recently shifted to a new place. There he makes some new friends in his neighborhood. While playing, he calls one of his playmates with an old friend's name. This is due to the thoughts or feelings of the old days which still play in his unconscious mind. Freud later developed a more structural model of the mind comprising the entities id, ego, and superego, which Freud called the psychic apparatus. The id is the primitive and instinctive component of our personality. It consists of all inherited components of personality at birth and responds directly to basic urges, needs, and desires. A newborn child is 100% id. The id does not change with time or experience and is not affected by reality, logic, or the everyday world. The id operates within the unconscious and on the pleasure principle. The ego develops to mediate between the unrealistic id and the external world. It is the decision-making component of personality. Ideally, the ego works purely by reason and operates according to the reality principle. The ego comprises satisfaction to avoid negative consequences. Like the id, it seeks pleasure and avoids pain, but only through the realistic strategies. The ego has no concept of right or wrong and uses reason to strategically plan to gain pleasure. The superego incorporates the values and morals of a society which are learned from parents and others. This usually develops at the ages of 3 to 5. Its function is to control the id's impulses and persuade the ego to focus on moralistic higher goals. The superego uses guilt to punish behavior that falls short of ideal and uses pride to reward behavior that aligns with the ideal self. So before we go into how to use Freud's theories in the classroom, I first have to state that although Freud's work is the cornerstone of psychotherapy, much of his work has been questioned and thoroughly critiqued. Almost every article that I found on Freud ended with a disclaimer explaining how his theories are not very scientific and have been therapeutic in practice. We can apply Freud's theories in a healthy way by understanding students as ever-developing personalities and how we play a role in altering them. We can also create a comfortable yet structured environment where students can work. It's important to put up inspirational posters, play music, and arrange tables and desks in an organized but comfortable manner in order to create that ideal environment for learning. And though our students have developed a superego by this stage in their life, their unconscious ids are actively trying to satisfy wanting desires. Lastly, it's important to give punishments when the id pushes the child to misbehave, like cheating for instance, and to encourage students when their ego or superego pushes the child to behave in a positive and respectful manner. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you all are having a wonderful day.